Hello, subs only. Welcome to Thursday edition, subs only, where I've got very little steam today. Man, I tell you, I have many a thoughts, many a comments, many a concern, but my energy is like, pew, it's like dwindling. I'd like to mention, as I mention all the time, there's this thing called full moon hangover. And I talk about it. I've been talking about this for years and years and years and years and years. If you happen to be someone who is heavily affected by moon energies and just you're sensitive to this kind of stuff, like right before full moon, you kind of get the internal zoomies. And then full moon happens and, full on lunacy. And then like after the full moon, you get the full moon hangover. The full moon hangover. Alas, I have a workbook about full moon hangover and some tips and tricks, which I will put somewhere someday. I had a website set up at one point where you could like download my digital content that kind of like ebook kind of stuff, things like that. They're all really fun. They're really fun and informative. I put the fun in functional, in case you didn't know. I also put the fun in funky, but something that will not be funky. I am super excited. I just got my little castor oil pack from the TikTok shop. Check this bad mama jamma out. I'm going to be wearing this bad boy in the nighttime. And it comes with a pocket for all your cool stuff. Although I think that's for heat. I think that's to put like a heating mechanism. Although I already have a complaint because the zipper's kind of messed up. TikTok shop. That's okay. I kind of feel like when items are under $20, which this one, it might have been like about $20 or something. But I feel like you get what you pay for. So for 20-ish bucks, it's perfect because I've heard about castor oil packs, the benefits of castor oil packs for a long time. For female health specifically, if you have thyroid issues, glandular stuff, castor oil is really, 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 really good. It's great for your hair. It is incredibly healing. It is an incredibly, incredibly healing practice. But I've always seen them. It kind of looks like a weird little tape it on kind of pack. And you're supposed to put it like, I guess, kind of like on your liver. You could put it on your thyroid gland. There's different places where you can put it where it's going to have the most effect. But this bad boy, this is going to be new in my self-care routine. I'm already a fan of, I guess, since I'm talking about full moon hangover, these are kind of like little self-care tips that I do. I've been practicing for a long time. So castor oil is going to be new, but I like to do, there's this, it's an Ayurvedic type of oiling. So you do like you can either use sesame seed, you can use coconut oil or castor oil, coconut oil, you can use sesame oil, you can use there's another kind, but it's made to help like kind of increase blood flow. It's a very specific type of oil massage that you do. And bonus points if you warm up the oil. I love. I've for a long time I've looked up little like if I could get something to like heat the oil so I don't have to like, I'll heat it up. I'll put it like in a glass boil it on top of the stove kind of a thing so it gets warm. But you know what I've always thought would be a good idea is those like Yankee candles or Bed Bath & Beyond where you can put the wax melters. If you put the oil in there and put a little tea light underneath, that would probably be a good solution for doing warm oil, because it is incredibly, incredibly nourishing for your skin, incredibly nourishing for your nervous system, incredibly nourishing for your like wherever your joints are. You got like clusters of like nerves and ligaments and all kinds of body stuff that like it needs a little TLC. It's probably not getting a whole lot of TLC. And if you're out there pumping it in the gym, you're probably not being very kind to your joints. So be kind to your joints. Give yourself a little, they call it abhyanga, abhyanga massage. But dry brushing, also incredibly good for your lymphatic system, which I just purchased a new dry brush too, because dry brushing is super, 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 super. This is the things that these things are like helpful for shedding the winter skin. These things are like helpful for keeping your body like vital. So not just youthful, but vital. But youthful comes with that. And my other third pro tip is cold showers. Cold showers, cold showers. Cold water. I have the hiccups now. Cold water, because that's like the universe is like you're giving out too much tea. Cold showers are so incredibly good for you. They like some of my yoga teachers, because it's part of my like my yoga practice to do cold showers. You're supposed to do like there's like a certain amount of time, but you put the water on as cold as it can go, and or if you have like an ice bath kind of a thing, those are really, 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 really good. Incredibly good for your mood. Incredibly good for your nervous system. Incredibly good for your skin. So I mean, I've got a filter on today, but your girl is no young. I'm not a spring chicken. I'm 43 years experienced, and so like a lot of times people ask me like, you don't look 43, what do you do? These are some of the things that I do, because they help to keep everything working properly. And when things are working properly, you can kind of reverse age if you feel like it. There are many ways. There are many, many ways. Many, many ways. But castor oil, this is the new one. This is going to be that new kind of lifestyle. So I might do some updates on the castor oil packs, because like it's supposed to help you get that snatched waist life. It's supposed to help you it's supposed to help with stress relief. It's supposed to help with especially when it comes to anything that deals with like healing your liver. Healing your liver, I'm all about, because we store anger in our liver. So if you're like, for me, my eyes have been like incredibly like burning and itching, because when I get real angry, it's like your eyes go red. But like when all my anger, like when I'm up to my max level, it's always my eyes will get red. They'll get itchy. When I was a kid, I used to get styes all the time, because it's like all that pent up anger, like your eyes and your liver are connected. I'd have to do like hot compresses, and I had to learn these things along the way. It's like you get an ailment and then you have to figure out, what do I do about this? So, full moon ailments, you're feeling a little down in the dumps, or you're feeling a little just like, it's very much like a hangover. Like full moon hangover is very much like a hangover. And it's not uncommon for full moons to have oh shit, I should probably put this on the tripod. It's not uncommon for full moons to have unfortunate events. Unfortunate events. A lot of times people, it's like the moon makes you freaking stark raving mad, and maybe you're not emotionally at your best, or maybe it's just like it's very, very, very irritating kind of energy. So, if you have unfortunate events, or like, some sort of like, almost like it's almost like a pimple, like an energetic pimple. Like you just have a whole bunch of emotion pop out, or even if you're like in a really good, like kind of like ecstatic dance, like you just releasing it all. It's like you're going to feel a dip afterwards. So we're on the side of like dip it low. So you got to bring it up slow. Before you can like move it all around and pop that thing. But these are the tips. This is for my subs only. This is like me to you. This is like my pro tips. These are things that have helped me to endure. And these are the things that like kind of keep me going, because let me tell you, I did not want to do this. I did not want to do this live today. I was like, man, today I was like 2 middle fingers to life. Fuck everything. I was real sad. I had sad news, very sad news come my way, and that shit knocked me out for like 2 days. And it happens. Totally. It's like part of life is loss. Part of life is like not just the ups, but the downs, And so it's like, when you are in the downs, what are the tools? What are the tools? And I'm a big, big, big believer in the self-care. The self-care will get you everywhere, because there is never going to be a time where you invest time, energy, effort, education, kind acts. When you put those things into yourself, ROI on your life is always going to be high, because ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Ain't nobody gonna come and self-care for you. You gotta self-care in your own time, in your own way. And let me tell you, as a professional, I used to be a professional self-destructor, like, so the opposite of self-care, right? Like, how can I ruin me just a little bit more? How can I ruin me? How can I throw a monkey wrench in my own life, you know? And there's lots of different ways to, like, self-sabotage, or to, like, just go and, like, just cause chaos, because it's just like maybe it's what you know. Maybe it's, you know, like, you have don't have a good place to put, like, the rage and the anger, which a lot of us have. It's like that pent-up rage, that pent-up anger. It's like you don't have a good place to put it. Then sometimes you put it back into yourself, and it's you know, it goes with that saying, you know, like, anger is a poison that only destroys yourself. And so doesn't mean that, like, anger is a bad thing. Doesn't mean that like those you know, that rage and that anger, like, if you are using those things in a smart way, you can take that fire to do some you can put that energy towards something constructive. And my yoga teacher, she passed away a couple years ago, but she always used to say, you know, like, there's a creative force, there's a destructive force. Polarity planet. We live on a planet with, like, it's negatives and positives, right? But, like, oh, thank you for all the likes. Quiet guy. I don't know what your name is, but I'm gonna call you Quiet Guy, Shy Guy. And the creative force, the destructive force. So if you are feeling self-destructive, and the creative force, the destructive force. So if you are feeling self-destructive, like, some of the unfavorable qualities about yourself. So let's say that you don't give a dang heck about yourself, about taking care of yourself, right? You could destroy the practice of not taking care of yourself, and you can take care of yourself a little bit, you know? You can eat something from the earth. You can move your body in some sort of way. You can get your abhyanga on, and you can do, like, a little oil massage on your joints. If you Google it, I'm sure you'll find it. If I find resources, when I go back to these videos, if I find resources like YouTube videos or something, I used to do this thing where I would add links to different videos and different, like, if I played a song, I'd add a link to it. Like, this way there's, like, a reference, because that's how I like to learn. Like, I'm not going to go and buy a book and read it all and then retain information. I want the Cliff's Notes, and I want it in video or audio form. I need the quick info, you know? But those things have been incredibly helpful. So full moon, man. Full moon. I was gonna get real burned down the village yesterday. I was at my limit with WTF. Like, my life's, like, capacity for WTF, it was at, like, max levels. It was at max levels of WTF. I was like, seriously, this again? Although it's not the biggest that it's ever been. It's just the continual WTFs that I deal with in my day-to-day. I happen to deal with I feel like I deal with a lot more WTF than the average human. But, you know, I don't know every human on the planet, and, you know, I don't have it horribly terrible, but I do know that my WTF intake is higher than most people that I know. And a lot of times I get asked, like, how are you handling that so well? How are you, you know, how you still vibing and thriving? How do you turn that frown upside down? So, tell you, this is why I share. This is exactly why I share. 1 second. Another thing I do is get candy. I went to go see my best friends at the gas station. I went and got some candy. Went and got some cigarettes, and I like to call that those are the just for me. I love to take a little walk down to the gas station because like it's nice to be out in the real world, like, you know, on like, I don't know, like on foot, I would say. But like it's nice to like be a part of your surroundings in a way where it's like when you're in your car and you're just kind of like stopping, like stop to stop to stop. It's like it's a direct shot, and then you go to the thing, you do the thing, and then you leave. It's like life kind of can pass you by a little fast. And when you kind of take the slow lane, so it's a big reason I love public transportation. I love to get on a bus and go on a road to nowhere. I love to go bus to bus, bus to train to ferry, all the different ways that you can get around without having a car, because it reminds me of having adventures when I was younger, because I would be like, where does this go? Where, like, how can I get home? Like, I kind of like the adventure of it. Although I do the same thing in my car. I drive on roads I don't know where anything is, and then I try to find my way back without GPS. And it's one of my favorite adventures. I put the music on loud, and I play How Do I Get Home From Here? And it's one of my favorite games. One of my absolute favorite games. Keeps me entertained. And sometimes I'll come across places like neighborhoods I never knew existed, or I'll come across like little places to eat that I never knew existed. I'm always pleasantly surprised. Sometimes I'll find some crazy ass shit, and I'll be like, dang, never coming back this way again. Mental note, Crackhead Central. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I'm gonna tell you, that's how you figure things out. You know, learn through experience. It's one of my favorites. Very E.T. phone home of me. I know they're not Reese's Pieces, but man, little tiny peanut butter cup, my jam. Eating pizza, self-care. I would fuck up a pizza right now. I'd fuck up a whole pizza. You know, it's the little things. A lot of different ways to do self-care. I thought that today was going to be Valentine's Day. And so I was real salty about it. I'm very salty about Valentine's Day. Very salty about it. And it's not because like I need to like have a romantic partner, or I need to have a date, or I need to get with someone, right? Man, I need to get with someone. I need to show that I'm loved. I don't give a shit about that stuff. I'm like, let me tell you, I can go on a whole nother rants on rants when it comes to relationships and love. Rants on rants on rants. I know a lot about these things, a lot of good experience in these areas, but let's just say that because I've had some unfortunate experiences in the Valentine's Day world, and I'll say this in general. February is not my like top month of the year. Like if I had to pick a month that like had kind of some of the worst things that have ever happened in my life, February would be one of them. February is a little bit tricky for me, but like I've also got some really good things in the month of February. So, you know, my focus tends to be on more of the good things, and then knowing that like, yeah, some stupid things also exist in this same space, right? There's some stupid things. There's some stupid happenings that may have happened before, but that shit ain't happening today. You know what's happening today? Candy, tiny candy, castor oil. And hold on, I got this sweet outfit on today. Let me just show you guys my cool outfit. By the way, I got almost all of this on the TikTok shop. I got 3-pack of these bad boys. which was a medium purchase because it's like, it's good, but like everything from TikTok shop is like it's like stretchy material. It's like athleisure wear. And even this skirt, which is very, very cute. I love a pencil skirt, but it's made out of like gym clothes material, so it's very interesting. And fun fact, I had this skirt in my TikTok shop, but they didn't deliver it, so I canceled the order. But somebody very, 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 very cool, some very cool. Let's just say a very cool alien gifted me this because they saw that I returned it and they sent it to me, and it was very nice. It was very, very nice, very, very nice. So whenever I wear this skirt, I'll think of that kind gesture because it was very unexpected and it was very sweet, very, very sweet. I'm not at liberty to mention who it was that gifted me, but I know who it was. It was very sweet. So Valentine's Day. Who hates Valentine's Day? I just sit here and I'll talk about like I hate Valentine's Day. I used to love Valentine's Day. Like I'm a big, huge fan of love. Surprise. Huge fan of love. Like I draw hearts on everything. Like I am all about if it's cute, if it's lovey. I love good love. Like I love with my whole heart. The things that I love with my whole heart. So like when my whole heart gets crushed, it turns me kind of to an evil villain. You know, it kind of puts me in my evil villain because it just does. It just does. And I've tend to find that people who have the more tender of hearts, they can go real super villain because like, you know, it's like that's the soft spot. When the heart is a soft spot, it's like that's the thing that's gonna launch you right into, you know, that's turned me into an empire man. Like I am not a rebel scum. I am Empire, Darth Vader. Like here's my Death Star. Goodbye to everybody. Very cold-hearted snake, very, very much. But then I also have a heart of gold, and I love so big, and so big. And so like when I used to celebrate. When I used to celebrate Valentine's Day in past years when I loved it, everything is hearts. Like I would get like, so I used to like this place called Pizza My Heart in California. It's, they're from Santa Cruz or Capitola or Santa Cruz? Capitola. But Pizza My Heart, if you're in California and you don't know about Pizza My Heart, know about it. Pizza My Heart is one of my favorite, especially if I am at the beach. Especially if I am at the beach, I will always stop at Pizza My Heart. It's like one of my favorite things to do if I'm in Capitola. But they make heart pizzas, so I get the heart pizza. I get like a bunch of flowers. I get everything hearts. I get everything Valentine's Day. I'm like mushy, love everything. Like it's just like it's very fluffy, very big love, very like sweet little nothings. Like everything, like just to the max. So when I had that holiday crushed, it made me very bitter. I was like, it doesn't exist anymore. I was just like wrote it off. And I gave it a little bit of time to if it's something that I love so much. Here's the thing: when I love something real big, and I get real angry. And I've had enough time to kind of like deal with it, process it. I'm a little bit of a control freak where I don't want someone else to ever control how I feel about something. If it's something that I love, that I enjoy, and it's got a little sourness because of someone else, I don't have to worry about that someone else. Like I can take it back and reincorporate things that I love. So like I never feel like I have to do any holidays, like ever. So even like birthdays, Christmas, any of the main holidays, like there's very much this like pressure on have to. I do not do have tos. I don't do supposed to's. The very, very, very quickest way to get me to not do something is to tell me I have to do it. I won't do it. I will not do it, and I'll find every other way to not do it. And so like I also don't like when people try to control my narrative and the things that I like and the things that I enjoy. So it's like, you know, I'll have people do stuff where like they will, let's say that they go and they purchase things that I like for someone else to spite me, right? Or they go and take someone somewhere where I like, one of my favorite places, to make me feel bad or to like just to hurt my feelings, right? Or they're like, someone would be like, that's my favorite song, that kind of a thing, you know, and just to like, you know, just to give you one of these. And that's fine. And you know what? Maybe I get my feelings hurt and maybe it does suck in the moment. But then I remember that like I can kind of just remove the jerks from the scenario. And guess what? Jerks can enjoy places that I enjoy. Stupid people can have things that I like. And people with bad taste in music can also like my good taste in music, and they can coexist. So I take back the things that like that I love, and I rebrand it as like, you know what, like everything that was kind of put on this situation or turned this sour for me, like I can take it back, and I can like it in my own way. Particularly for music. I feel like sometimes people like to do things with music like that, where it's like say you have a lover, right? Say you have a lover and you had a song that was like your song. And then they deliver that song to a new lover, right? And they're like, and they're, let's say that they've rebranded it for their own little, it's their thing, right? And then you're like, but that was our song. And so there's a quarrel. But I can still like that song. I can cut out the memories, and I can be like, look, at one point it was connected to someone that I cared about and I loved, and they disconnected and they wanted to do their own thing. And guess what? That their own thing has to do with me? Nothing. Zero. It has zero to do with me. That falls under my favorite category of NMP. Not my problem. And I invite many of you guys watching this digitally to take the avenue of, you know what, that falls under NMP. Not my problem. And I guarantee you will have so much more in your life for you that you enjoy without having to consider, to not be affected by other people. That's a good one. It's a real good one. When I used to work in salons, I used to get a whole lot of I used to be very, very busy. I was like very high demand in my work that I used to do. And I would get sob stories all the time. Like I couldn't do this because of this, or I got here late because of, you hear a lot of like everybody else's stuff and why it's like they couldn't match up with whatever it is that you need to have them match up with. And I would very coldly, lovingly but coldly, that's not my problem, back of the line. You know what I mean? Like, I hear your story. I understand, you know, I'm empathetic and like I care about people's feelings, emotions, and things like that. But in a very stern way, that's not my problem. And so we're just gonna take it very logical. And that shit works. That shit totally works. Because then you're not worried about other people's stuff. And that's a good way to stay in your own ass lane. So like for Valentine's Day, which I was talking about Lupercalia in one of my last videos, which I really do. I love the witchy holidays. I love the witchy holidays because the witchy holidays are more of a celebration of the natural world. And the witchy holidays are more of a celebration of the cycles of life and death and rebirth and kind of that in-between space. And these are things that like I write about all the time. These are the things that I'm interested in. And these are the things that help me move through seasons and cycles of my own life. And these are why I like to share these things, because it's just like when you look at like, where am I in this cycle? You know, and it's like there are cycles on cycles on cycles. So it's like you have your own kind of personal evolution. We're always growing and we're always changing. Even the most stagnant person on the planet, Like, you could be a huge rock of a person that, like, stubborn, never going to change. Even those types of people are changing. It's just a lot slower. It's a lot slower. And some people change very rapidly all of the time. And because they change rapidly all of the time, there's this phrase called ungrounded. So they might seem a little like manic, or they might seem a little like flighty, or they might be like switch up, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. But, you know, some people, they can move a lot of energy, and they need a lot of change because they are they're people that, like, that's just part of who they are. It's part of who they are. And sometimes even in like those two different kinds of states of like very slow change and very fast change, you can speed this one up and you can slow this one down. You can do some grounding if you're in a very flighty, everything is changing too much. Might I suggest oil? Doing things that slow you down when you're in a flighty headspace. Hot oil massage, even if it's not hot. You can get like some regular ass. Watch, let me show you the one I have. Hold on. Walk with me. We'll do a little self-care walk and talk. I don't even have any jams on right now. I was jamming earlier. I was having a huge jam sesh. I put a little heat to my hair today. Let's see. Welcome to the baño. Here it is. So this one is just plain ass Dr. Teal's. As you can tell, I like oil. And this one is lavender. This one's got lavender essential oils. But a good old-fashioned, like even just Dr. Teal's, like that kind of a thing. It is a game changer as far as like working with. I like how the lights work by my command. Where I forgot what I was saying. Anyways, even like just like a Dr. Teal's oil, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, but doing the things that will slow you down, like oils and fats. So like I tend to find that like when I need comfort, I tend to eat like fatty foods, so like avocados and cheese. Cheese is my soulmate food. I freaking last time I went out for like burgers, I got this. It was like a fondue burger where you dip the burger that was already kind of kick-ass, and then it came with a side of cheese that you dip the burger in the cheese, like fondue. Oh my God. That thing, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I was like, everything should come with a side of cheese dippers. Everything. Like, do you got some cheese for me to dip in that? But for me, like when I need extra comfort, that's also why I like fuzzy stuff. I love the fuzzy stuff. Because I like to be like when life is going too fast and the brain is like, you know, on like 1 million, I like the fuzzy. I like to be wrapped up like a burrito. That's when I put on like the slow jams. You know, those are like times where like, you know, if I don't really want to like when I have to like peel myself out of bed or off the couch or you know, like we all get rot life, right? Where it's just like, I don't want to do anything ever again. And it's like the only reason why we do is because we have to. But it's like, even in those we have to, you gotta scrape yourself up. You gotta pick yourself up by your bootstraps. My go-to things, something fuzzy, some kind of cheese, or something that's like slow and fatty and like it's like lipid life. It's like when you can make something just like a little bit more I don't want to say ease, but like you just want something. You just need the comfort. You need the comfort. You know, it's like when you can add some comfort into into those parts that are just, it's like a little too painful. It's a little too mentally draining. All of the ways that like life moves too fast, when you can take it just take it down a notch with some like slow it down. You know, those are the things for me that help me to to have a better attitude about stuff too. You like how I'm wearing my hat all high? Look at me. I look like a 90s dude. I need like a tag hanging from my hat. By the way, Nevermore alum. When I saw this hat, so there's this store that I like to take my kids to called the FYE, and they got all kinds of like nostalgia, and they got all kinds of fandom and things like that. And my favorite thing about that store, because it's one of those aftermarket, it's like an aftermarket kind of like Hot Topic or Spencer's or something like that. But I love aftermarket stores because you will not catch me paying full price for anything. Like, I worked in retail for a long time, and I know the markups on those things, and I refuse. Like, it has to be something that like I absolutely cannot live without, and I know it's not going to exist if I don't get it right now. There's not many items out there in the world like that. So I love an aftermarket place. But the best part about aftermarket places is that they have stuff that like, it's like they bring it back. So it's like, you never know what they're going to have. So they always get like a new batch of like stuff. And so they had Wednesday Addams kind of little like section. And when I saw this hat, I bought it immediately. 2 reasons. Number one, lets everyone know that I'm a Nevermore alum. But it's like this kind of a hat. And I love this dad style hat because like sometimes I had a weird shaped head. Like, most hats don't look like awesome on me because like, I don't know. I think that when I was a kid, they like gave me the alien squish or something like that. But like headbands and hats, I got to be real particular about because like, I don't know, my head's doing its own thing. It's like, it is not made for every style of headwear. But this type, I love this type of hat. And these are like the kinds that like, the more you wear them, the better they look, especially when they're like really worn in. That's like my favorite. It's like my favorite. It's like my absolute favorite. But I love the FYE. And they got the zany candy. Love the FYE. Me and my kids, when we go there, because like I always give them like they can pick one thing, and one of them will always pick food. He'll always pick some sort of random ass food or like some zany drink, or so he's always in the food and snacks, the food and drink section, like everywhere we go. And the other one wants the most expensive toy that they have there, where I have to tell him at least 10 times. Like one reasonable item, not like one $1,000 like limited edition, your dream item. Like we're talking about like, I'm talking like 20, maybe $30. Like I'm like, if it's cool, maybe $30. Like I'm not trying to get you like, the whole Skeletor castle with all the collector's pieces. Not today. Like bring your own money for that kind of thing. But like, I love the nostalgia. That's another thing. The nostalgia is a tool. Like use your favorite shows and your favorite like feel goods when you are in a slump. I can't tell you how many times I have like Seinfeld my way into a better mood. How many times I have like, there's like old like stand-up. I used to really love stand-up, and I feel like stand-up nowadays, it's like, for me, it's kind of hard for me to get into new stuff because I'm kind of an old guy. And it's like, in my old guy heart, like I very much stick to the things that like I loved as a kid and that I loved like in certain parts of my life. And I think that because nowadays things are like a lot of remakes and a lot of like, there's not a whole lot of original content out there. Like to me, it seems like, at least. And so it's like something has to really, really, really catch my interest for me to invest into something new, as far as like entertainment goes. But man, when I get to those like, all the fandom places that have like the nostalgia, or like, it's just like, they don't have like Sanrio anymore. Like when I was a little girl, I used to hit up the Hello Kitty store like religiously. My top two things, a good Hello Kitty store, the Sanrio. I would go straight for the pencils and the pens. Surprise. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of the stationery. I used to live in San Jose. There's this place called Santana Row, and it's like an outdoor fancy mall. They got like Gucci and all the like the fancy stores, and then they got like a few randoms, and they got like Diesel. And they got like the Diesel store is funny. Side note. The very first time, so Diesel used to be more of like a Club Kid kind of a brand, like before it was like kind of like bro jeans. But like I was a teenager, and I was shopping on Haight Street. I was out with some of my friends, and we were on Haight Street. It was in the 90s, and rave culture was real big in the 90s, especially in San Francisco. And so I go to Diesel, and it was a tiny, tiny, tiny store. There was not like a bunch. It was not like known for jeans. And I saw this rubber dress with like an anime character on it, and it was $699.99. And in the 90s, that might as well have been like $1 million dress. That was like the largest price tag I had ever seen, like in real life, like in as a teenager, and in real life, you know. And I wanted that dress so bad. I wanted that dress so bad. I was like, I could do it. But like, oh, I loved it. They had like, but I did get at that diesel excursion, I got this. It was like it almost looked like lamination, but it was like this. It had a bunch of like kind of anime characters, and it was like this plastic belt with like a metal buckle. That was it was my favorite belt. It was my favorite belt. I used to wear that all the freaking time. And back then, everyone used to like those seatbelt belts. That was everybody. Everybody was wearing those. Everyone was wearing like the ball chain for your wallet. Back then, and then they were wearing the balls, the balls on your neck, and they would get them. They wouldn't get them at like a regular store. They get them at like the hardware store. You go and get them at the hardware store. It was fun, but like I like stuff like that. Like I like stuff like that. I miss stuff like that. Like I miss, you know, it's like it's nice to revisit the things that kind of made you happy. So like these are all the things that like it's like you add the little happiness things into your day. You know, like. Whenever I put this jacket on, it's an instant mood lift for me. You know, anytime I put on my Nevermore hat, instant mood lift for me. I mean, I grew up in the hood, and like you better believe that when my hoops are on, my mood is up. If I got to take my hoops off and I got to tie my hair back, it's a different kind of a day. Luckily, I didn't have to have that kind of a day today. And especially they're lucky because like I would have broke all my nails. So one of the reasons that I put girl nails on is so that I don't go to jail, because it's a possibility some days. But anyways, so health and wellness, nostalgia, full moon hangover, turning that frown upside down on the Valentine's Day stuff. I think that, like, you know, it's very easy to be fed a bunch of like half-does and supposed-does kind of indirectly through media, you know, because it's like you could see a whole lot of like I don't have anyone on Valentine's Day. You know what I mean? You don't have to celebrate Valentine's Day. You don't want to. Guess what? You just saved yourself a buttload of money from going to a restaurant where they're going to overserve you. And it's going to, like, have you ever been to a Valentine's Day, like restaurant on Valentine's Day? It fucking sucks. The service is shitty. The food is usually kind of crappy because they're overbooked. Like, it's very rarely like I would rather go the day before, the day after, to be very honest, very, very honest. But like let's just say if I was booed up and Valentine's Day was going to be celebrated, you know, there are very sweet and cute ways to show people that you care about them and that you love them, in all different ways. Even if you are going out to like a fancy dinner or like some sort of like, you know, like go out to eat kind of a thing, because it's like there are more things to do than just to sit with someone and eat some food. Like there are way more adventures to have in the world. There are way more experiences to have in the world. And I'll tell you, one of my absolute favorites is whenever I'm with someone and they're willing to go on like a walking adventure with me, or go exploring somewhere, like if there's somewhere that like we've never been, like go check out somewhere new. Those are like some of my favorite things to do, because it's like you'll never forget that kind of stuff. You know, you'll never forget that kind of stuff. And not to say that like going out to eat isn't fun, because it's like it's fun, and that's a good way to kind of get to know someone. But it's like when you're actually doing something, like it sticks a little bit more, you know, because it's like then you get to interact a little bit, and it's like it's so cool. It's so cool, so cool. A lot of creative ways to spend time with people, and I mean, Valentine's Day is not limited to just a lover, you know? It's not limited to just your boo. Like you can do Valentine's Day for anyone that you love and care about, anyone that you want to, be like, just show a little love to. And those are ways that I've kind of like rebranded Valentine's Day for myself too, because like I have kids, and my kids love holidays. They love holidays, and I don't have them this Valentine's Day, so like dad's got Valentine's Day duties, but like we always make sure to do something fun for them, even if it's just even, like you're gonna get a buttload of candy. Which one thing that I used to love, when my kids would have Valentine's Day party, like I'm gonna raid their candy every time, 100% of the time. Halloween candy, Valentine's Day candy, Easter candy, like there's a mom tax. There's a mom tax. Like I need like I already know which ones they don't like that are my favorites, and they also know, like, hey, what you got for me? What you got on my candy, homie? Like I gave you life. What you got on my candy? But like, these are the things that help me to not feel so salty about it. But like I do enjoy a good like healthy rant and a good healthy shit talking. I think that like being able to like say fuck Valentine's Day, and you know what, fuck your whole vibe over there, man, and and know that like people can ignore me if they want to. It's an option. And if people agree with me, they can be like, yeah, you know what? Fuck that. It's like, solidarity. So there's room for everything. But I was going to talk about Lupercalia. And I always forget about, I don't always forget about it, but a lot of times when there are more mainstream holidays, there tends to be like some sort of a like witchy kind of holiday, or like some sort of, you can call it pagan, you can call it witchy, you can call it whatever. But there tends to be certain times during the year where it's just like, so we had Imbolc, which was not that long ago, and that's a witchy holiday that is halfway through the winter. Imbolc is the return of the light. And so, people who practice, like energy and witchcraft and things like that, like witchcraft isn't all about like the devil, and I mean, you want to get real nitty gritty. There is no devil. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. Evil exists, but like, there's no devil. Like there's like you can call a lot of fallen angels a lot of different, it's like, there's a lot of let's just say that there's a lot to back that up too. Like academically and non-academically, there's a lot to back those things up. But in practicing witchcraft for as long as I have, I love the celebration of life, and I have a lot of respect for death, and I have a lot of respect for seasons and cycles, and I have a lot of respect for the natural world. And I think that in celebrating the return of because it's like the way that the cosmos move, it's like this cosmic energy, natural cycles, it's very ingrained in us these seasons and cycles, being human. And when it's like when you take these kind of high energy times and you mainstream it, it's not unlike mainlining some drugs. It's just give you a different effect. When I think of that, I always think of Lost Boys, like, hey Mikey, you freebasing? Like you can freebase your holidays and do it the Hallmark way, which is nothing wrong with that. Or you can take your own kind of like natural, organic way of doing things, and I don't know, it's like, what are you celebrating? Like, are you celebrating I got a boo, I don't got a boo? Like, my worth is shown to the world by like what I did on one day that everybody else cared about and I didn't really care about. It's just like, you could do that if you want to, but not me. I'm gonna take that holiday, I'm gonna make it my bitch. I'm gonna either ignore it completely, or I'm going to, do the things that like light my heart up and that make me happy. Maybe send Valentines to my own self, like make myself a little Valentine's mailbox. one of my friends, one of my very, very, very dear friends who I'm going to be doing bitchcraft with, they're very, very crafty, which is why one of the reasons why we're friends. But they made for work a little Valentine's box, and they're also a witch. And it says Ouija, it's like a Ouija board, but it says Ouija be mine, like would you be mine? And then it has a little Ouija board, it has a moon and a sun, and it's just like, it's so cute, so cute, so cute. And I want to mail them a Valentine's to put in their little mailbox. That makes me, I love that. I see that kind of shit. I would mail something. I should probably mail something. I'll even make a handmade card and mail it to them with a stamp. And it'll probably get there after Valentine's Day because I thought about it too late. But I'll be like, put this in your mailbox, please. Just to show you that I love you. That's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that makes me happy. That's the kind of stuff that makes me happy. So anyways, yeah, and you know what I was reading about? I was reading about Lupercalia last night because there's some things that I know about it. So it's kind of, it's a festival of fertility, which I was reading that it was banned in the 5th century by the Catholic Church. Surprise. But then like Valentine's Day, it's like they ban it and then they kind of steal the bones from the celebration, and then they rebrand it into like something a little bit more churchy. And the things I don't like about the church is the having to tell people what to do and telling people that you're damned to go to one place or another. If you don't do what I say, I don't like any of that kind of shit, because there's all this variable for change, and there's all this variable for like free will. And like, you know, a lot of churches don't talk about free will, but you got it and you can use it. And so they used to celebrate by, like, they would do, like, animal sacrifice, but it's, like, that's not much different than, like, Easter or, like, you know, any big holidays where it's, like, you're eating a turkey or you're eating some sort of an animal, especially, like, Easter. Like, Easter, it's, like, you fast on Fridays. I mean, I know that because I was raised Catholic, but, like, you know, Good Friday, like you don't eat red meat, and then you know, Easter you can eat all the meat, all the candy. Then you glutton out, right? But it's like different ways to do sacrifice, and even that, it's like it's a 40-day practice. Like I'm doing a 40-day practice up until equinox, but my 40-day practice is like doing some yoga and doing like it's like a detox kind of a thing. So I'm eating like a lot more fruits. And fruits that begin with P happen to be good for your digestive system and your glandular system. So papayas are really good for your guts. Pears are really good for your heart and your kidneys. List goes on and on and on. All the different, like pumpkin seeds are really good for you. Pomegranates are full of antioxidants. And so it's like, the focus is on like getting rid of the old energy with the yoga and kind of like getting your body like ready to like be able to come back to life. And then you're resetting your metabolism so that come springtime, you know, you're ready to go and be out in the world, live a life. But like same thing with Easter. It's like 40 days Jesus walked through the freaking desert and like, you know, sacrificed. And it's like all the stories are same but different. But it's like there's a big deal with practicing something for 40 days. There's something very magical that happens like in your brain as far as making changes. So if you want to make some sort of changes, try doing something for 40 days. Not my problem for 40 days. When you come to a situation that really doesn't have to do with you, that's annoying, not my problem. Doesn't deal with you directly, not my problem. And then move along and move into something that is your problem, like something that is actually directly affects you. And you can, you can make some adjustments. You can just appreciate that it is a part of your life. A lot of different ways to do that. But I'm a big fan of a 40-day practice. Big fan. Because it helps you to become good at change. And I'm all about, like, if you can be the commander of your ship, better than someone telling you what the fuck to do. Because it's like you're of sound mind and your free will is on fleek, and and you can say fuck Valentine's Day if you want to, or you can have Valentine's Day exactly how you want and you can ignore me completely. No big deal, because that's NMP, not my problem. So anyways, Lupercalia, the season, the festival of fertility and things like that. But I don't know. I probably will put out some sort of offerings, because I like to I like to build momentum in all of the life affirming practices. And so like I think it never hurts to like put out some fresh flowers. It never hurts to put out like a food offering. It never hurts to like say a couple prayers. It never hurts to like, you know, to like all the different ways that you can tend to like your magical life if you do that kind of a thing. It never hurts to like set up an altar and make it pretty. And even if it's just to like, when you see it, you're happy. Even that, your joy is an offering to, you know, to everything that's out there that's bigger and, you know, kind of beyond us, you know, beyond the beyond. So anyways, that's my day. That's my rant. It, you know, when I put this up on YouTube, so I'm going to put this on YouTube, once I stop yapping. But those are some tips, some tricks, some good stories. And I hope that tomorrow, everybody and anyone who is celebrating Valentine's Day has a wonderful time. Oh my goodness. I always got to prove my humanity to the TikTok. They're like, are you a human? Last I checked. Last I checked. So anyways, like I was saying again, hopefully that's helpful for some people. And I hope if anybody is feeling down because you not booed up, you didn't get a mailbox full of Valentine's Day, and you said, fuck Valentine's Day. You know what? I hope that you find something that is just for you. Treat your damn self. And, you know, and even if that treating yourself is just to be a hater, like, I hope that you find the best, like, hating ass memes. And I hope that you get that rage and you use it to fuel something that's going to make your life better. Because fuck them. When your life is better, then fuck them. That's like the biggest middle finger to something that you do not like, making yourself better. So that's all I got for today. Thank you for joining. And I see 0 out of 69 subscribers yet again. Haters. But, you know, when I get to that 69 subscribers, then I will think of something fun. I'll think of something fun for my subscribers to engage in. But until then, Audi 5,000, 500 or 5,000. I don't know the saying.